someone has said that if we have to defend democracy, we have to defend change, because only change is the one which can actually strengthen the democracy. Change seems to be the essence of democracy. We have to keep changing according to the time, only then is a true democracy. Now let us go back to a very popular movement for democracy which came up in Nepal and which has become a source of inspiration for various people in various countries, those who are looking for democratic setup. Actually, Nepal won democracy in 1990. It is a third wave country, but slowly and gradually, when this was happening, the king usurped all the power and people had to actually start with a movement to restore democracy. When this process was going on, the king at that time was King Birinder. King Birinder accepted this transition to democracy and he kind of agreed that, well, the people there are looking for democracy, so he must accept to it. But sadly for the country, King Birinder died in very, very mysterious conditions. And the person who overtook him, the next king, his name was King Gyanendra. He dissolved the parliament, he usurped all the powers and dissolved the parliament in February 2005 and became all in Nepal. Naturally, the people who had fought so much for democracy were very unhappy and they started with a movement in April 2006 for the restoration of democracy in Nepal. And therefore, all the people from all the walks of life moved forward to actually bring about the desired change that they were looking for. Then there was a 7-party alliance. All the major 7 parties of Nepal, they started a strike at Kathmandu against the decisions of King Gyanendra, and they said that he must restore democracy in Nepal as soon as possible. So there were protests, demonstrations led by 7-party alliance joined by the Maoists. The Maoist insurgents, though they do not believe in democratic setup, you have already seen that they believe in the power of the peasants and the workers, but they too wanted the king to actually not be there in Nepal, so they too joined the 7-party alliance. So the 7-party alliance, along with the Maoist insurgent, along with the mass participation of the Nepalese people, they gave an ultimatum to the king, King Gyanendra, on 21st April 2006 that he must restore democracy as soon as possible. Well, while the strike and demonstrations were going on, they gave a 3-day ultimatum to the king that he must concede to all their demands. He tried to give in half-hearted consent to it, but the people were not ready for it and they wanted a complete setup of democracy. Therefore, on 24th April, the king was forced, King Gyanendra was forced to listen to the demands of the people and he had to restore democracy. Thus, there was great jubilation, there was great happiness in the country, and Girja Prasad Koirala was made the new Prime Minister of the interim government, that is for the time being, till they actually would not frame the constitution for the country and there would be no elections. For the time being, they had elected Girja Prasad Koirala as the Prime Minister of the interim government. Now, the new Constituent Assembly which was formed for making the constitution of Nepal was with the consent of both the 7-party alliance as well as the Maoist insurgent, who thought of making a wonderful constitution for the people of Nepal who had struggled and worked so hard for restoring democracy in Nepal. It is said that the kind of efforts that these people had made to bring about their desired government is in fact a group, wherein people have looked forward to. They've been asking for bringing about democracy in their own country in this way. So, this was the story about a popular movement which occurred in Nepal for the formation of democracy.